Here we go. Let's go ahead and take a moment to sit. And here comes Chris. I knew she was coming. Take a moment to sit and let your body weight just get anchored there into the floor. Good. So everybody check in. How you doing? How you feeling? Just close your eyes for a moment. Just visualize your day. Where are you? What got you here? Some of us had big days, long days. Good. Take a moment to just wave goodbye and start moving your breath deep and inward. So down towards that lowest part of your abdomen. So you're going to inhale and fully let that air expand. And then exhale, draw in at those muscles and feel yourself sit tall. Let's try that a few times. So you're going to inhale, feeling that deep low breath, and then exhale to feel your center knit in. Feel your spine supported here by the muscles there in your belly. Let's try that a couple more times. Inhale and exhale, pulling in. Let's do it once more. Inhale and exhale. Good. So now take opposite hand and elbow and just let your arms come and reach across your body a few times. Good. So you're getting a little stretch there in the backs of the arms. You can even create a little twist as you rotate. Good. Take that a time or two more. Good. And then we're going to exhale and let your arms come up overhead. And you'll try that a few times. So keeping the elbows bent, and then just let the arms float up as you're holding opposite hand to elbow, and then go ahead and shift that direction, taking it around the other way. Good. Let's now pause with your arms up overhead and let the fingertips come together. Rest your hands here back behind the head for a moment. Inhale. Sit up, sit back, let your chest open towards the sky. And then exhale and let the head come down. Good. So we're just going to stretch the back of the neck and stretch the throat a few times. Inhale, coming up. Feeling some release there through the armpits, through the chest. And then exhale, feeling some stretch in the back of your neck. Good. We're going to inhale, come up one more time, nice and slow. Wonderful. And then exhale, let the head come down. Good. So I'm going to let my left hand now come down and take my right hand to my left ear and then just stretch my neck over to that side. So a few full breaths. Good. And then let the hand move to the back of the head. Let the nose move in. Feel a little more stretch there in the back of the neck. Good. And then from here, let's exhale, release that hand and switch sides. So opposite hand to ear. Let the weight of the head come over. Good. Take full deep breaths down low. And then a hand here to the back of the head. And a long stretch. Good. Exhale, release. And now, just a few times, go ahead and roll your shoulders. So you'll inhale, pick up the shoulders, exhale, drop them down. Inhale, we're going to pick up, and then exhale, drop down. Good. Inhale, coming up, exhale, dropping down. Beautiful. So now let the elbows float out and in just a few times at your sides, almost moving into like a puppet shape. Good. So you're just working the humerus bone there in your shoulder socket up and exhale, letting it drop down. So when the elbows come up, you'll probably feel some work there, a little bit just in your deltoids. And then as your elbows come in, you should feel your latissimus muscles. Good. And let's exhale now. Let the arms come out and just circle your wrists a few times, especially if you had to be at the computer more than you wanted to today. Good. Circle the wrists, take them the opposite direction. Good. Inhale, sweep, take your arms up, and then exhale, create a twist. Just move to one side. So this is a lengthening twist. Let the fingertips continue to stretch. Beautiful. Let's exhale, move back through your center. Inhale, take a breath. Exhale, reach the arms up. Another long lengthening stretch in the opposite direction. We're feeling the top of the head continuing to float up. Good. Inhale, bring your hands back in front of you in a little prayer position. Slide the fingers of one hand down to the palm and stretch your fingers back slightly. Good. And again, just check in with your neck and shoulders. Make sure they continue to relax as you stretch. Take the hands and slide the opposite set of fingers down, stretching out your wrist. You're giving it a few breaths. You apply the pressure, so it doesn't have to be a lot. Good. And then take the heel of the hand, one to the opposite thumb, and just press in. Let that thumb stretch. Good. We're going to try that on the other side. Good. Exhale, shake, wring out your hands there for a moment. Wonderful. Take your two arms and you're going to stretch, reach over to one side. So you've got one arm coming up overhead. If it feels nice to create a little circle here with that arm. Good. Making some space in your neck. And then letting that circle the other way. With the arm up overhead, you can roll the humerus bone out and in, just feeling the rotation. Beautiful. Let's exhale, float it over and onto the other side. So same thing here, stretching, reaching over. If it feels nice to circle the arm a little, give that a go. Beautiful. And then we're going to roll the thumb in, roll the thumb out, roll it in, roll it out. Good. So you feel that all the way at the head of the shoulder. Excellent. Sitting tall, take your two palms together back behind you. Reach the arms down and then play once again with your neck. The chin coming up as you inhale, floating down as you exhale. Good. Feeling your shoulder blades squeezing together. Wonderful. Let's take your two arms out and then fold your two legs as well. So let's start here. And I'm going to reach my rib cage one way and then the other. So I'm just going to actually feel myself stretching my back muscles, working out the kinks, wherever there's stiffness. Wonderful. Try that just a few more times. Great. And then let's take opposite shoulder. Stretch it towards a knee. Your head can come down. So this is just getting a little bit deeper into your back. Inhale. And exhale. Float that over and onto the opposite side. Gonna inhale, sit up. And exhale, sweep the weight of the torso. Wonderful. Good. One more time, the opposite direction. Great. And then from here, let's just take your torso a few times all the way around. So you can pause anywhere that feels tight or uncomfortable to you. Good. Changing the direction, moving the other way. Saying hello to your hips, your back, your abdomen. Wonderful. Let's sit up and then let's slide your two legs out and then let your fingertips just move forward, taking your head just a few times side to side, allowing the neck to release. Good. Now you'll follow your head all the way around, stretching towards one leg. Good. You can let your two hands come to either side of the extended leg. Good. And just let your torso sort of melt. Wonderful. Let's walk our hands around to the other leg. Nice and slow, no rush. See what happens here on this side. Good. We'll inhale, sweep our arms back to your center. Now, exhale, round under. Inhale, stretch, reach up, almost like a cat cow. Good. Rounding, coming under. And inhaling, coming up. Good. We'll draw that one more time. Exhale, rounding under. And inhale, come up. From here, you'll bring yourself back up nice and tall, two arms up. And a long twist. Good. Back to your center, long twist the other way. Back to the center, you'll let the two arms float down, bring the palms right together, back behind you. Stretch, reaching away from the legs, opening the chest. And then if you like, let your torso come forward, just any amount that feels good. And then we'll exhale, release, sit tall, bring your two legs in, and you can slide if you're on a sitting prop, you can slide off, and we'll start moving down towards the floor. So I'm going to let my left side come down. I'm sorry, let me let my right side face the computer here. And I'll invite you to just come down slowly, or if it feels good to do a little bit of gentle rocking on the way there, you can try that. Again, don't force any sensations. If just rocking a little bit your tailbone down and up, you can give that a go. Or if it feels nice to come all the way down and up, that's also an option. Good. So let's start here for a moment with bent knees. Place your feet on the floor. Open the arms out into a T shape and just lightly send your hips side to side. So I'm letting my knees stretch, the front of the hips as I push down with my feet. The hips stretch and reach up. Try this a few times. Great. And then let's go ahead, take a little pause. And with your right leg, lift it up and just let that leg circle a few times lightly in your hip socket. So slow, steady, easy movement. And then we're going to circle it around the other way. Nice, slow. Good. Working the inner and outer rotation of the hip. Wonderful. So now place the ankle on the opposite thigh and then lightly rock your hips once again, side to side. Good. Let's pick the legs up here. Place your hands around the thigh and go ahead and create a little stretch. So I've got my right leg bent out to the side. My left leg's bent straight on, and my hands are behind the left thigh, rocking the weight a little side to side. Good. So let's exhale and unfold and let your 2 feet come right back down to the floor once again. Good. And exhale, just rock your hips just as they were. Good. And now when you feel ready, go ahead, pick up your left leg and let it circle a few times in the hip socket. So easy movement, light with a bent knee. It's really just about mobility. Just feeling how your hip is doing today. Good. And then we can take that around in the opposite direction. Wonderful. And then from here, go ahead, open the leg. The ankle moves to the thigh. And then you can exhale and rock your weight side to side. Good. So just creating a gentle movement. Long exhalations. Wonderful. And then let's pause and hug the legs as they are up over your chest. Take your hands around the right thigh this time. Once again, if that rocking feels good, continue to rock. Just find some calm, lightly stretch. Good. Imagine your spine staying long here, your chin moving in. Good. Let's exhale now. Unfold your 2 legs. And I want you to extend one leg and then pull the other leg back. So this is just a light little energetic opposition. Feel your hamstring stretch as the knee extends. Feel it release as it pulls back. It doesn't need to be a big movement at all, just creating a little oppositional force in your 2 legs. You can now make it a bit more of a bicycling movement. Again, soft there, no pressure. Good, change the direction and take breaks when you need to. Good. From here, let's sweep, circle the 2 legs around and out. So they're going to circle around. If it feels nice to let the tailbone rise up a little, you can do that. If not, just make that circle small and slow. Good. You can sweep the legs now the other way. Good. Now let's fold at the knees. Your right foot and left foot come to the floor. Push down with the feet and let your pelvis pull up. And take a few big deep breaths. Good. Release and let the pelvis come down. Now we'll try that again. If you'd like, push and lift and maybe walk your palms together. That will give you a deeper stretch in your back. Good. You can even tuck your shoulder blades onto the spine so you come kind of more onto the outsides of the arms. Good. And then once again, we'll just exhale, release the pelvis, come down. Take your 2 feet just a little bit wider than your mat. And then let one knee pull in. So you're going to fold to one side. This will really stretch your psoas. Inhale, bringing your 2 legs back up. Let the opposite leg fold in. Good. Inhale now. Let 2 knees open up and let the soles of the feet come together. A few full deep breaths. Feeling the hips open. Letting gravity stretch your hips. And then you're going to exhale, hug, take your feet together over your chest. And once again, if it feels nice to kind of rock the hips a little. And let the tailbone settle down into the floor. From here, we're going to open the arms to a T shape. Let the knees float towards one side. Let the knees float towards the other side. Feeling some deep release in your back. And now we're going to exhale and just roll to that one side. So I'm going to come and face the computer screen here. So I want you to begin today with your top arm. And you can keep the arm, the elbow nice and soft. And just imagine your arm is like the hand of a clock, kind of moving really slowly, really evenly through time. Just noticing, giving yourself a little stretch. And then let's change the direction. Good. Now let's place the hand on the floor and just a few times open your top knee. So the knee is going to reach up towards the ceiling. You should feel some stretch in your hip and a bit of, or in the inner thigh, hip area, and then a little bit of work in the back of the hip. So try that just a few times, the knee opening. Good. So you really feel that tissue stretch, and then exhale, release it, coming down. Good. And trying it a few more. Good. So now from here, let's let the knee come down and then the top foot lifts. And this is just working the inner rotation of your leg. So really visualize the head of the humerus bone there in the hip socket as it lifts up. Again, just a little therapy for that tissue. Okay, so now we'll lift the whole leg by itself just a few times. Again, feel every inch of gravity, all that force. The leg comes up slowly as the leg moves down slowly. Wonderful. Let the leg now travel behind you. And now let the leg travel forward. The leg travel behind you. Good. Letting the opposite leg be your anchor. Good. Now from here, let's let the leg circle. Good. Just really keeping your awareness. What's happening in that hip? And then let's fold the knee up and perhaps take your hand to your shin and take a few breaths, letting that leg just come up and closer towards you. Good. Now we're going to exhale and let the knee come down in front of you. Let the opposite arm, I'm sorry, the top arm is going to stretch back. Then we're going to exhale, pull those limbs right back together. You can take your hand to the thigh, extend the leg up, and just stretch for a moment. If it feels nice to walk your hand towards your toes, you can do that, or just leave the hand behind the thigh. Send energy out through your heel. Let the bottom leg lengthen out. Good. And then let's fold this knee in. Let the foot there rest for a moment on your opposite thigh. Go ahead, press the foot and thigh together. So again, you really feel this hip releasing. Good. And then we're going to pull our body here just into a little ball for a moment. And feel no rush to get up quickly. As you feel ready, you can begin to push through your arms. And I'm going to turn away from my two legs and just let my head and my tail stretch apart. Good. I'm going to exhale, let my chest move forward away from my legs. And then when you feel ready, take your arms, stretch them towards your feet. And then as you feel ready, take your feet away from your hands, and we'll just come over onto the other side and try a little bit of these things here. So begin by just creating a little release in your top arm. The elbow can come stretch forward, back, and around. If your arm feels tighter, your shoulder feels uncomfortable, always do this exercise. Begin with a bent arm, and then as the shoulder joint warms up, then you can lengthen the arm out. Good. Why don't we change direction here? Again, think about that movement staying fluid. Good. After your next round, go ahead, let the hand come down in front. And then we're going to begin opening and closing the top knee down and up. So let the bottom thigh bone stay right where it is. And then once again, that leg just comes down and up, feeling a little bit of work in the back of the hip, keeping it strong. Good. And then also feeling a little stretch in the inner thigh.
Good, let's go ahead, close, let the knee stay down, and then let the top foot rise up. Good, as you press the knees into one another, the whole bottom half of the leg lifts up just like a tail. Good, try that a couple more times. And then we're gonna exhale, lift the whole leg. We'll keep the knee joints parallel, so you're not really opening all the way into external rotation, but still light lift and lower of the leg. And then let's pause and let the leg travel forward and let the leg travel back. The leg travels forward and then right back. So you're feeling that transition in the work through the hip, through the front of the hip, through the back of the leg. Good. And then from here, let's take a few circles of the leg. Might be feeling a little tired in those external rotators there in the back of the hip. Change the direction. And then we're going to open the knee joint up towards the shoulder, hugging that leg in. Just creating a little space between the two legs. And now we'll let the top thigh move down in front of you. Let your top arm stretch back behind you. And we'll go ahead, exhale, bring that limb back in. Hand here back to the knee. And you can let the hand move behind the thigh as you stretch and extend this leg all the way up. If the hamstring feels tight, give it a rub. And then if you like, bring your hand all the way to that foot. Good, you can let the bottom leg slide out. Let's fold the leg down and put the foot there on the thigh. And create a little pressure if you can, so that, again, you're just really getting the hip to open. Beautiful. And then we're going to fold all of those limbs. Just hug here for a moment. Let your body relax. Let's push up with your arms. And then once again, you'll let your head exhale. You'll stretch up away from your hands. And then move your head back. Good. Inhale, come stretch up. And back. And then we're going to exhale, bring your arms over towards your feet. And then inhale, sweep your two arms all the way around. And then let's come up for a moment.
into an all fours position. So inhale, your sternum rises up, and exhale, your head and tail move apart. Good. So we'll inhale, take a big stretch up. Exhale, moving those bones apart. Couple more, inhaling up. Exhale apart. Inhale. Good. And now exhale. So now find a nice long spine and move your thighs back and then move your thighs a little forward. So gentle movement, thigh bones can reach back. If you want, you can bring your hips a little more forward. Just integrating your breath here into this movement. Good. Try this a couple more times. And after your next round, let's just pause. Move your sitting bones back and come rest for a moment in a child's pose. So your ribs can melt towards the floor. Tops of the feet are getting a stretch. And then we're going to take your hands all the way around to one side. Continuing to stretch here. Good. We'll push and walk your hands around to the other side. We'll inhale, come back through your center once again. Inhale, coming up. Now this time let your head move to one side as your hips move to the other. So this is almost like a little sideways cat-cow. So you'll exhale, reach the hips around. So it's that distance moving the head and hips apart that stretches the sides of your back, sides of your hips. Good. Try that a few times. And then if it feels nice, make that into a little circle. So the hips, the tailbone are moving around. Good. You can also create a little sweep so that the tailbone circles under you just a hair. And take that the other way. So it's like a big full circle with the hips. So let's exhale, let the head come down to the floor and let the tailbone stay lifted. Again, big breaths opening you up here. We're going to push with the hands and let one arm come underneath you. Get a good stretch.
Inhale back through your center. Let the arm come underneath you again. Opposite arm. Inhale, coming right back up. This time, let one leg slide forward. I'm going with my right. And I'm going to let my weight just come out lightly over this leg. Sometimes I think it feels really good to let your head rest, kind of cupped to your chin, cupped with your two hands. Good. After your next breath, push down with your two hands. Let your head and your sternum come all the way up. Good. Exhale, releasing. Let's push back with your two hands for a moment. Slide your right leg back, and then let your left leg slide forward. Wonderful. Stay here for a moment, or if it feels nice to let your head come down and just rest here in your hands. Good. And then we'll push with our hands back down into the floor. And exhale, let the sternum come up. And then once again, we're now going to fold back towards the computer screen and let the soles of the feet just come together. Right, in a little Baddha Konasana pose. And then you can bring in my room. In my room. That's what Brahman's talking about. Let your head now come a little forward and see if you can feel a spread right where the hips and the spine come together back behind you. Again, if you have the flexibility, if it feels comfortable to rest your head in your hands, and this is also something you could prop with like a yoga block or two, but it just lets the weight of the head become weightless. Oh. And then one more big full deep breath as you exhale, come up, slide one leg out. I'm going with my right leg here, and then reach your torso out over that leg. And we'll inhale, come back up. Exhale, sit tall. If you'd like, fold, just take your weight. So you're going to let that leg fold in and then reach your weight away from it. So this is now stretching the psoas here in the kneecap. This might not feel comfortable to you. Don't do it if it doesn't. But it might also provide some nice release there to the hip. Good. And then once again, let's sit up. And you'll let this leg fold out. Draw the other leg in. And let's exhale, slide our weight out over it. Good. Inhale, sitting up. And then let's exhale. You can take your hands back behind you. Let this knee, so I'm first just walking my foot out. Then letting the kneecap come down. You can walk the heel a little closer to your sitting bone. That will probably feel more comfortable. And then exhale, stretch, move your weight there away from that leg. Good. We'll press with our hands. Come right back up. And now I'm going to slide my 2 feet long. And once again, just start making my way down to the mat. Hands back behind the knees. Good. Hug the knees over the chest. And then extend one leg to the sky. You can take a hand behind that leg and get a deeper stretch. Exhaling to release. Switching sides. Good. Exhale, let the two legs come up for a moment. Just with the legs floating in the air, you can kind of lightly let the hips rock. Let the two legs move independently of one another, so they're just kind of floating. Just finding the lightness in your joints, like you're moving underwater. Good. Then we're going to just slowly carry that lightness back down to the floor. Place the right leg, the left foot on the floor. Open the two legs out and bring your hands here to your belly for a moment. Close your eyes deeply and feel your breathing. And then you can open the palms out also and just feel your breathing.
the undulation of your breath as it moves through you. Let's use some exhales to create release in the body. So inhale fully and exhale, relax your brow. Inhale fully and exhale, release your jaw. Inhale fully. Exhale, melt the scapula. Inhale fully, completely. Exhale, release your hips just into the floor. Inhale, feel your legs just relax as you exhale. Use another few breaths to explore where there might be some tension left over in your body. Then exhale, release to those places. And slowly, when you feel ready, just begin to lightly wiggle your fingers and your toes. And circle the ankles, circle your wrists. And draw your knees in up over the chest, rocking your back, take it side to side and front to back. And let's roll to one side and just rest in a fetal position for a moment. And then pressing up with your arms. Find yourself in a seated position. We'll bring the palms together before the heart. Bow the head, close the eyes. Your practice is a gift. Everyone, thank you. Enjoy the rest of your day. Namaste.